Sandy VCAL PD presents Movie Talk Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the 2Sweet movie show. It's Thursday, the 31st of May. We have the smash hit new movie coming out this week, Gringo. Now, it's actually out today. So it comes out on Thursday, which is today. And basically, it's an all-star comedy. It's basically an action crime comedy film. And it's actually been getting rave reviews, not too bad reviews. Basically, the story, it's a dark comedy. It's mixed with white-knuckle action and dramatic intrigue, and explores the battle of survival for businessman Harold Soinka, David Orleo, when he finds himself crossing the line from law-abiding citizen to wanted criminal. So basically, it's a mix of dark comedy and everything. And then it basically joyrides into Mexico, where the businessman David Orleo, he finds himself at the mercy of his backstabbing business colleagues. Back from home, local drug lords, and a morally conflicted black ops mercenary. So crossing the line from law-abiding citizen to wanted criminal, Harold battles to survive his increasingly dangerous situation in ways that raise the question, is he out of his depth or is he 2 steps ahead? Now this one is directed by Nash Edgerton. Now Nash Edgerton, he's an Australian director, and he's actually the brother of Joel Edgerton, who's actually in this movie. And if you don't remember Joel Edgerton, he was actually in Red Sparrow this year. Probably not many people are familiar with Nash Edgerton's work. It's one of his first all-star comedies. He had a movie called The Square in 2008, which was a crime thriller. Now he's back with a big action film. And the thing is, he's actually been in quite a number of films as an actor, but now he's a director. So, name some of his blockbuster films he's been in. Well, he's been in The Matrix with Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne, even though he was uncredited. He's also been in The Equalizer with Denzel Washington, also uncredited. He was in I Am Number 4, Matrix Reloaded as a security guard, Zero Dark 30, Moulin Rouge, Son of a Gun, and Macbeth. So he's been in a number of things as a small kind of actor. But now he's turning into a director, which is good, because you don't want to stay the same thing for all your life. You want to change it around. So that's what he's done. He's become from an actor to a director. Now he's going to be doing 2 upcoming projects. He's got a series called Mr. In Between, and he's also got a movie, an action thriller, and it's about a guy named Lucky, and he finds himself in a tough situation, and the feature's based on Nash Edgerton's short film Lucky. So he made a short film called Lucky, and now he's making it into a full feature film, and that hasn't been announced. It's in development at the moment, so it's not nobody really knows much about it just as yet. But yeah, Nash Edgerton, he's actually been quite big in himself, so which is great. He's also been a producer. He's actually wrote some stuff. He wrote 1 episode of No Activity, that massive Stan series, which came out last year. He's also a big stuntman as well. So I guess you couldn't call him an actor. He's a big stuntsman. He worked as a stunt double in The Matrix. He worked for the stunts on The Equalizer, The Wolverine, Bleeding Steel with Jackie Chan, The Great Gatsby, Baywatch, the actual TV show with David Hasselhoff, I Am Number 4. He even worked on Star Wars Episode 3 and Star Wars Episode 2. He also worked on Mission Impossible 2 with Tom Cruise. He worked on Zero Dark 30 with Jessica Chastain. That's quite massive. And Joel Edgerton was actually in that too. He worked as a stunts team on Straight Outta Compton, The Gift, Home and Away, etc., etc. He's done so many big films as a stuntsman. So now he's trying to turn himself into a director. So it'll be interesting to see how he directs this feature film. I'm very excited to watch it. I think I'll probably give you a review next week because I'm planning to watch it today right after my program, which will be exciting, I tell you, because I'm very excited to actually see this film. It looks like a really nice type of film. Now, it's also the writers on board. You've got Anthony Tambakis. He wrote Warrior, which is a big type of film. And Warrior actually starred Joel Edgerton, Tom Hardy, Nick Nolte. Also starred Kevin Dunn. Quite a number of other stars. Now, that was actually a big film. Got good reviews, Warrior. So I expect it to be big too. So he's got a big movie on his hands. And the people working on it are just brilliant people. Very experienced people too. Now, also Matthew Stone is one of the main writers of Gringo. Now, he wrote Soul Men. He wrote Man of the House with Tommy Lee Jones. He wrote Intolerable Cruelty with George Clooney and Catherine Zeta-Jones. He also wrote Big Trouble with Tim Allen. And he also wrote that comedy smash hit Life with Eddie Murphy. So he's done quite a number of things. We'll be very excited to see this on screen. Now, one of the main actors in this film, you got Thandie Newton. Now, she wasn't that quite known before. She's been in quite a number of things. But she's actually known in Westworld now. So that's her main type of thing. And also, another reason to see this film, you've got Amanda Seyfried's back. I haven't seen her in a cinema release for quite a while, according to my memory. And it's quite exciting to actually see she's back. And we also get to see her just before she does Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, which is actually quite, like, lots of people are really excited to see this. A lot of people who are fans of the original, they're very excited to go see Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Now, if you didn't know, it's from Mamma Mia, the sequel, is basically directed, it's from the same director who made Now Is Good, Oi Parker. And if you're not familiar with Now Is Good, it's actually that story of the girl, and she's dying of leukemia, and then she compiles a list of things she'd like to do before she passes away, and topping the list is her desire to lose her virginity. You probably may have heard about it. And I don't know if it was quite popular, but I've heard a lot of people are very happy with it. And it actually stars Dakota Fanning in the main lead, playing Teresa Scott, and Kaya Scodelario, who you saw in Maze Runner. Actually, all of the Maze Runners, I think. So, quite exciting to see it. And then you got Oi Parker. He's also a writer, so he's wrote quite a number of things. He's wrote 12 things. He wrote The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel and The Second Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, which he also did the screenplay for the second film. Now, if you're not familiar with The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, it was that smash hit comedy for the older generation, but I really shouldn't say that because the younger generation also had fun with it. I really did like this film. It's a 2011 film, and I didn't see the first one in theaters, but I saw the second one in theaters, and I like both of them. They're all good. They're not bad. So basically, if you're not familiar with the plot, basically, British retirees, they travel to India to take up residence in what they believe is a newly restored hotel. Less luxurious than advertised, the Marigold Hotel nevertheless slowly begins to charm in unexpected ways. So there's 7 elderly Britons, and their variety of reasons, they respond to an online ad, and they travel to Jaipur in India, where they find a rundown hotel with a young host, Evelyn, newly widowed, and wants low-cost experience. Graham seeks a ago love, Douglas and Jean have lost their pension in a family estate, family investment, and Muriel needs a cheap hip surgery. Madge seeks a rich husband, and Norman is chasing women. So India affects each in different ways, enchanting Douglas and Evelyn while driving Jean deeper into bitterness. Their host, young Sonny, has dreams but little cash or skill. He also has a girlfriend whom his mother dismisses. Stories cross and discoveries await each other. Now, this is a very exciting film. If you haven't seen it, I'd suggest you to check it out. It's very, very, very well done, this film. It's from the director, John Madden. Now, he's directed a number of things. You may know him from the series Master of Sex, where he directed one episode. And that's the one starring Michael Sheen and Lizzie Kaplan. And Lizzie Kaplan, if you're not familiar with her work, she was in Now You See Me Too. And Michael Sheen's been in a number of things. It's also the same director of Miss Sloane, the 2016 thriller. And that was actually a very, very big thriller. It had a great cast. Jessica Chastain herself. And if you really like Miss Sloane, I'd suggest you to check out Molly's Game. If you go to my first episode on this program, you can check out my review for Molly's Game. I really did like it, and you can hear more about it on there, on the podcast YouTube thing. And if you're not familiar, Mark Strong was also in Miss Sloane. And you know him from Kingsman, playing Merlin. We all know him from there. Absolutely. And if you're not familiar, Christian Baranski was also in it. And she is in The Good Fight, and she was also in The Good Wife and The Big Bang Theory, playing Leonard's mum. So you know her too. John Lithgow was in it. Jake Lacey, that actor from Rampage. Quite a number of people were involved in it. And it's from the same director of The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, which is always exciting to hear. Now, he also directed Shakespeare in Love, and a lot of the promo material trying to get people to see Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, they put, from the director of Shakespeare in Love, and that attracted lots of people to go see The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, which was good for 20th Century Fox, and it made a hell of a money at the box office. Now, if you're not familiar with Shakespeare in Love, it's an all-star cast. I don't think I've seen it yet, but I really would like to see it. It has a massive cast. You've got Ben Affleck, Joseph Fiennes, Gwyneth Paltrow, Colin Firth, Rupert Everett, uncredited, Jeffrey Rush, Judi Dench, Tom Wilkinson, Martin Clunes, who you're known as Doc Martin, Imelda Staunton, who you're known from... She's been in a number of things, a lot of British programs like Harry Potter and Finding Your Feet, and Jim Carter, who we know from Downton Abbey. Just a number of people were in that. Now, if you're not familiar with John Madden's work, he's also directed a lot of movies. The Debt, which actually starred Joel Edgerton, I believe. Sam Worthington. Now, Sam Worthington's also a big type of actor. Known for Avatar, but not as big now. And The Debt had a massive cast. You've got Jessica Chastain, Martin Coxis, Sam Worthington, Helen Mirren, Tom Wilkinson. A very, very big cast. And it's also, that's mainly what he's directed, John Madden. And if you're not familiar with the cast of The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, it goes on and on and on the list. Now, it stars Maggie Smith, who you've known from Downton Abbey, Philomena, and she also was in Gosford Park. Actually, sorry, I made a mistake. Maggie Smith and Judi Dench, sometimes you get them mixed up, right? Maggie Smith's known for My Old Lady, and Judi Dench is known for Philomena. Now, Bill Nye is also in this film. And if you're not familiar with Bill Nye, he's also in a film out at the moment called The Bookshop. I wasn't really interested by the trailer when I heard all about it. I think I mentioned it last week. I talked about the film a bit. If I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. I won't care if I miss it, really, because it didn't really interest me that much. Now, if you're not familiar with Bill Nye, just think about Love Actually, one of the best British comedies I've probably ever seen. The best romantic comedy. This is such an exciting film, Love Actually. I normally watch it every time it's on. If you're not familiar, it's directed by Richard Curtis. And Richard Curtis is known for a number of things. He directed About Time, The Boat That Rocked, and that's mainly it, and Love Actually. He's a massive, massive director. And even what he writes is quite fantastic. He wrote a number of things. He has written a number of things, like Love Actually, About Time, Notting Hill, Four Weddings and a Funeral, War Horse, Bridget Jones' Diary, The Vicar of Dibley, Mr. Bean's Holiday. As you can see, he's a great writer. And if you're not familiar with the cast of Love Actually, it's got a massive, massive cast. You've got Martin Freeman, who's in Cargo right now, and I actually saw that about 5-6 days ago. So if I can put a review in, I'll try to today. I just got quite a number of things to talk about today. Now, he's also known for The Hobbit. He's known for Black Panther as his most recent film. You also have Keira Knightley in Love Actually. Now, she's known for Pirates of the Caribbean, The Imitation Game, Atonement, and she's going to be in the new Nutcracker movie coming out in 2018. Liam Neeson is also in this film. Yes, it's Liam Neeson before he turned into this action bad guy. Action good guy, I should say. He's not a bad guy, he's a good guy. Now, after he did Love Actually, he's gone to The Commuter, he's been in Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins, Run All Night, Taken, all those number of things. But before that, he was actually in a romantic type of comedy called Love Actually. And it's just quite excellent to watch. This one is very, very well done. Liam Neeson does an awesome role in it. And Hugh Grant's also in this film, playing a very, very funny Prime Minister. I won't spoil too much, but he does this funny dance, and every time you see it, you just laugh hysterically, because it's just very, very funny. Now, if you're not familiar with Hugh Grant, he's been in Four Weddings and a Funeral, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., About a Boy, Notting Hill, a number of things. Now, he's actually got a new series out now, which is an Amazon Prime original called A Very English Scandal. Now, it's basically about the British Liberal Party leader Jeremy Thorpe. He's accused of conspiracy to murder his gay ex-lover and forced to stand trial in 1979. So basically that's what that's about. And yeah, the list just goes on. This film has so many all-star cast. It has January Jones, Thomas Brodie Sangster from The Maze Runner when he was young. So basically that's him. He was in Love Actually and he played Liam Neeson's son. Now, they have a great father and son relationship there between Liam Neeson and Thomas Brodie Sangster. That is very exciting to watch too. It's worth seeing it. You got Dennis Richards in it, Colin Firth. Now he's just also a joy to watch. He's been in Bridget Jones' Diary, Mamma Mia, The King's Speech. Alan Rickman's in it. Yeah, it's very good to see his performance before he passed in 2016. He's mostly known for Love Actually, Die Hard, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and the Harry Potter series. Chiwetel Ejiofor was also in this film. Now, if you're not familiar with him, he's been in a number of things recently. Sherlock Gnomes, Mary Magdalene. Now, I actually saw that, and I'm pretty sure I did do a review on it quite a number, maybe a month and a half ago. Surely, I think Mary Magdalene didn't get much stuff from the press, like not many people knew about it or went and saw it, that is. But I hope it made enough money after the Harvey Weinstein scandal. And it was all alleged, but I think it's not really alleged anymore because he went to court about it and he could be sentenced. That's what will be happening very, very soon. Now, Garth Davies actually directed Mary Magdalene, known for Lion. It's very exciting to see his performance with Rooney Mara and Joaquin Phoenix and Tahar Rahim. It's worth it. Also known for Doctor Strange, The Martian. He's been in a number of things recently. But that's one of his first films, I gather. Chewat Ejiofor, one of his first great roles, and still a very great role. Laura Linney's in it. Emma Thompson, Billy Bob Thornton, Bill Nighy, Rowan Atkinson, playing a very, very funny jewellery salesman. Maybe he's only in it for 5-10 minutes, but it's worth it. His performance steals the movie. Andrew Lincoln, Chris Marshall, the list goes on and on. Richard Curtis, the director, playing an uncredited cameo. It's just really, really worth it, that film. I have talked about it maybe the first time, actually, but I've seen it quite a number of times now, and I really do like it every time it's on. And it's a great movie. They play it every couple of months on Channel 7. And especially at Christmas time, they just keep playing it because it's very excellent. Now back to the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. It also stars Judi Dench, who you're most known playing M on Skyfall, Philomena, as I just said, Shakespeare in Love. Dev Patel is also in Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. He's part of the hotel himself. He's actually an English actor, but he has Indian heritage. Now, if you're not really familiar with him, he's in Lion, where he played one of his best performances. It really does make you shed a tear. It has a great cast with Nicole Kidman, Rooney Mara, Sonny Power, David Wenham. Just really, really all-star cast there. Slumdog Millionaire. He's known for Slumdog Millionaire, which was a massive, massive film. And it actually won a number of Oscars. It won 8 Oscars, including Best Motion Picture of the Year, and Best Achievement in Directing by Danny Boyle, and Best Achievement in Film Editing, Chris Dickens. So, yeah, that was a massive film with Dev Patel, Frida Pinto, Anil Kapoor, Irfan Khan. Oh, it was such a massive, massive film. And it was a hit too. He's also been in a few, not so good films like The Last Airbender and that mediocre type of film, Chappie. But he has great performances, actually. He's not a bad actor, in my opinion. Celia Imrie's in it, Tina Desai, Tom Wilkinson, Penelope Wilton, Ronald Pickup. It's just a massive type of film, this Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. And it surely, if you still haven't seen it, you just will love every minute of it because it's good for young or old. Now, basically, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is going to be massive. It has an all-star cast. Basically, if you're not familiar with the cast, I can give you a little run-through. So, it stars Lily James to start off with. Now, I just saw her recently in The Guernsey Literal and Potato Peel Pie Society, which I did think was alright. It's certainly not her best film, but she puts a great performance through there, and it's worth it because of her performance. Now, she's mainly known for Baby Driver I did really like her performance in that with Ansel Elgort, with John Bernthal, John Hamm, Jamie Foxx, Kevin Spacey. That was quite good. She was also in The Darkest Hour, which I unfortunately missed in theatres. Well, I wasn't really too interested by the trailer, so I sort of didn't want to see the film. But I sort of do want to see it because of Lily James' performance. She was also in Burnt, which had a massive cast. It was from the director John Wells. I think he's made a number of things. He's a English, or I think maybe an English. No, he's an American director, and he was he actually directed The Company Men, and I think that had a pretty massive cast with Ben Affleck, Tommy Lee Jones, Chris Cooper, and it also had Kevin Costner. Yep, Kevin Costner was in it too. And it's from the director of August Osage County as well, which also had a pretty massive cast, and it was one of those big dramas, and it was actually Oscar nominated for Meryl Streep's performance and Julia Roberts' performance. It had a massive cast with Meryl Streep, Julia Roberts, Dermot Mulroney, Juliette Lewis, Chris Cooper, Ewan McGregor, Margot Martindale, Abigail Breslin, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Dale Dye. It was a look at a family, the Osage family or something. I don't think I've ever seen it, but I would like to see it because of their performances. I may get the chance to see it soon, and I could do a review on it. So basically, back to Burnt. Now, this had a pretty massive cast. It had Lily James from Baby Driver, Alicia Vikander from Tomb Raider, Daniel Bruhl, Bradley Cooper, Uma Thurman, Sienna Miller, Emma Thompson too, Omar Sy too. So it was pretty massive, actually. And the cast doesn't stop there, So starting with Lily James, who's actually very popular now. You've got Amanda Seyfried, as I said, Cher, Andy Garcia, Meryl Streep, Dominic Cooper, Christine Baranski, Pierce Brosnan, Stellan Skarsgård, Colin Firth, Julie Walters, Celia Imrie, and Alexa Davies. Now, lots of people would be really excited to see it. And going back to Amanda Seyfried, she hasn't been in many cinema films recently. Her last cinema film would probably be Love the Coopers in 2015. Actually, in 2015, she had a quite big year with Ted 2, Pan, Love the Coopers, and Fathers and Daughters. Those three of them were released in theatres. I'm not sure about Fathers and Daughters. I'm pretty sure it was not released in theatres. So it'll be exciting for me today to actually see Amanda Seyfried in a type of role, in a acting role in the theatre, because I haven't seen her for quite a while. But you will see her in Mamma Mia upcoming. Now, if you really like Gringo and you can't get enough of Charlize Theron, just go into another cinema again and go see Tully. It's expected to be quite good, but don't think it really interests me much, the story and stuff. But I'm sure some people will actually find it interesting. I'm not sure if I will see it or not. I haven't really made up my mind. But Charlize Theron, she's been massive lately in so many big films. Atomic Blonde, Fate of the Furious, Mad Max Fury Road, Hancock, those massive films. Now, she's actually one of the main actresses in Gringo. And you've got Joel Edgerton. I've heard he's playing a bad guy. Now, we saw him recently in Red Sparrow with Jennifer Lawrence, directed by Francis Lawrence, playing Nate Nash. Now, his performance was quite good in my opinion. He wasn't that bad in that. But the movie wasn't brilliant, but it was was quite good, I guess. Red Sparrow. He's been in a number of things. He was born in New South Wales, so he's Australian, and it's happy to see him on the screen for Gringo, because I just saw him in Red Sparrow quite a number of months ago. Now, he's in Bright. He's been in Bright with Will Smith, that Netflix movie. He's been in The Great Gatsby, Star Wars Episode 3 in 2005, Warrior, as I said, Black Mass, Zero Dark 30, Smoking Aces, which I've heard is brilliant. Very, very fun movie. Now, I actually haven't seen it yet. And I think it's from the writer of Death Wish, which I saw quite a number of, which I saw a couple of months ago, probably 2-3 months ago. I did really like it, and it was quite good. Now, the reason I really want to see Smoking Aces is because it actually stars Ryan Reynolds before he was Deadpool, playing Richard Messner. And it also stars Jason Bateman, Joel Edgerton, Ben Affleck, Andy Garcia, Chris Pine, Taraji P. Henson, Peter Berg, Ray Liotta, Jeremy Piven, Matthew Fox, Common, Alicia Keys, and that's it. But don't you think you just seeing those names pop up, that it would actually be very, very good? I think it will be, and I hope to see it very, very soon. It's on the list at the moment, so I hope to put it in, and I hope in later months I'll actually be doing some classic reviews, because that would be nice to review some classic movies, maybe instead of latest releases, which actually gets people to go on Netflix and catch some films which they've never heard of before, and I'll go and tell to people. Now it also stars Sharlto Copley, Paris Jackson, and David Oleo, who's actually the main character playing Harold in Gringo. And now he's been in a number of things recently. Lots of people were saying that Gringo's very funny because of his very, very loud voice, and he does those really funny screams in it. Now, he was actually been in A Wrinkle in Time, which was out 2-3 months ago. I actually didn't know he was in it. I knew that Michael Pena was in it and quite a number of other stars, but I didn't know David Oleo was in it. And I didn't really care because I didn't see that film, and I probably won't. I may see it soon, I'm not actually sure. He's been in Interstellar, he's been in The Help, he's been in Rise of Planet of the Apes, Lincoln, Jack Reacher, which is very, very good with Tom Cruise and Rosamund Pike, and the Aussie Jai Courtney. That was a very, very great film, and it was 2012, I'm pretty sure it was made. And they made a sequel, actually, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, which was actually quite successful, I heard. Now, I don't know, it was just a very, very good film because it had Tom Cruise, and he was being a badass like he usually is at Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible, but he wasn't just doing that. He was also being a detective. So it's a mystery action thriller. It also has mystery. Not many action films also delve into the mystery. So it's basically like a mix of things. It has a very, very big mix of things. And now David Oleo doesn't stop there. I mean, he's a big actor. He's done quite a number of projects, with Selma being one of his biggest hits, and Queen of Katwe, that movie. He's been in Spooks, which was very good, which I saw on ABC, and it's been on 9Gem. He's been in The Butler, Most Violent Year, United Kingdom. The list pretty much goes on and on. He's a big type of British actor there, and it'll be exciting to actually see him today and provide you a review next week, I gather. Now, yeah, it doesn't stop there, because you've also got Charlize Theron. She's producing Gringo, and she's one of the main producers on the line. She's produced many of her other flicks, like Tully, like Atomic Blonde, like Monster, like Young Adult, but that was uncredited. A number of things. Nash Edgerton produces it. Anthony Tambakis, he produces Gringo, and he also was the co-producer of Warrior. Now Matthew Stone, he produces this too. Rebecca Yeldham, she produced The Kite Runner and The Gift, which is Joel Edgerton type of film. I'm sure he was in it. It's co-produced by the people who got involved in Spectre and the line producer from Sicario, co-producer from Elysium, and the producer of Get the Gringo. So it has a number of type of people on this project. And I heard it was mildly successful in the US, which is always good to hear. So Gringo, it's out today. You can go see it if you want to. I'm not forcing it on anyone, but I'm sure I'll see it, and I'm hoping that it will be a very, very funny type of black comedy with lots of white knuckle action and all that. It'll be very exciting to see it. I really gather. Yep. Oh, still out, you've got Deadpool 2, which I reviewed for you. Avengers Infinity War, I reviewed that for you too. You can go to my my video before that. The Greatest Showman, Ready Player One, Rampage. Alright, I talked about Gringo, which is basically the main release of this week. There's not a number of things coming, but, you know, you don't have long to wait, because next week you've got a number of things coming. You've got Ocean's 8, that massive cast, directed by Gary Ross. Now, Gary Ross, I'm sure he's been involved in quite a number of projects. He's a big director, I gather. He directed The Hunger Games and he directed Free State of Jones. So to go to a comedy like Ocean's 8, it's quite surprising. I really don't know what to say about that. Now, the cast is pretty big in this one. Ocean's 8, you've got Cate Blanchett, Olivia Munn, Matt Damon, who's not uncredited, but he's a cameo, Dakota Fanning, Sarah Paulson, Anne Hathaway, Sandra Bullock, Helena Bonham Carter, Katie Holmes, Richard Armitage, Mindy Kaling, James Corden, Owinka, Rihanna, Hailey Baldwin, Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian West, Kendall Jenner. Man, basically that's it, but that's a massive, massive cast. And that comes out in theatres Thursday. That's out on Thursday, actually. But it has an advanced screening on Wednesday. I think it's the Flicks with the Chicks screening. Also coming out on the 7th of June, you've got Hereditary with Toni Collette. You've also got Incredibles 2 coming out on June 14. Alright, June 14's a big Thursday, people. That's in 2 weeks. Not next week, but the week after. You've got the Incredibles 2's back. And we haven't seen an Incredibles. We've waited 12 years to see an Incredibles 2, an Incredibles sequel. That massive movie with Craig T. Nelson, Samuel L. Jackson and Holly Hunter. We're finally seeing a sequel, which will be very exciting to see. With Samuel L. Jackson back, Sophia Bush, and I heard it's actually directed, the same director of Incredibles 1, Brad Bird. Now, Brad Bird's an American director, and he's been involved in quite a number of things like The Iron Giant, Ratatouille, Tomorrowland, which was a very big flop for Disney, if you didn't remember it. And his most successful film, along with The Incredibles, would be his blockbuster flick in 2011. This was so much fun. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. And I'm not saying Rogue Nation wasn't that good, but they were both really, really good, these ones. They had big casts. I'm talking about a massive, massive cast, this one. It's very, very good, this one. It's got Tom Cruise, Michelle Monaghan, Jeremy Renner, Paula Patton, Lea Sedux, Simon Pegg, Josh Holloway, Ving Rhames, who I think we saw in Father Figures. He was there, which I saw 3.5 months ago, I say. Yep, he was in there. He was playing Rod Hamilton. Do you remember him from somewhere? Tom Wilkinson, Anil Kapoor. A very, very big cast was in that. So I'm very excited to see Brad Bird's back for the animated action flick, family flick too, Incredibles 2. It's going to be very, very good. If you're not familiar with the story, basically Bob Parr, he's Mr. Incredible, and he's left to care for Jack while Helen, Elastigirl, is out saving the world. A very, very small plot there because they don't want much to be spoiled for this upcoming really, really funny type of action flick. Also out the same day Incredibles 2 comes out, you've got Tag. Now that's directed by Jeff Tomsic. Could be one of his first big films. He's directed a number of shows like Broad City, TJ Miller, Meticulous Ridiculous, and that's basically just it. So he hasn't really made some films yet. So this is one of his first films, which will be interesting to see how he directs it with knowing not much experience in feature films. It'll be very, very exciting to see that. And the cast, if you're not familiar with the cast of Tag, it's very, very big. You've got Isla Fisher, who plays Anna. Now, you've known her from Wedding Crashers, Confessions of a Shopaholic, Now You See Me, and she was also in Keeping Up with the Joneses. Annabelle Wallace is in this film. Now, you've known her from The Mummy, X-Men First Class. Not just that, you've also got Jeremy Renner here. Now, he was not in Avengers Infinity War because he was too busy playing tag with his mates. Yeah, that's right. That joke was all over that. Rashida Jones is also here. You saw her in I Love You Man, Celeste and Jessie Forever. And she was also in Inside Out, which is a film quite a number of years ago. John Hamm's also here. We're seeing him just after Baby Driver. And not just that, so once you see him in Tag, don't go anywhere because he's back with Rosamund Pike in the thriller Beirut, the action thriller Beirut. So you don't want to go anywhere. And it's written by the people who wrote the Bourne trilogy, I hear. The writers of The Bourne Legacy, The Bourne Ultimatum, and The Bourne Supremacy, and The Bourne Identity. Tony Gilroy. Not just that, you've got Tag. It has a massive, massive cast. Tag. You've also got Jake Johnson, who we known. He was in The Mummy last year. He's been in Let's Be Cops. That was a very, very funny movie in 2014. I've seen it maybe 2-3 times. He played Ryan. And you've got Ed Helms also in here. Hannibal Buress, who we saw in Blockers. And he's not just been in that. He's been in Baywatch. He's been in Bad Neighbours, I think. He's been in quite a number of things. Spider-Man Homecoming. A very, very funny type of guy, Hannibal Buress. No, it's actually produced by Will Ferrell, which is quite stupid. I don't know. It's quite funny, I guess. Yep. And the same day Tag comes out, don't go anywhere because Upgrade is releasing. Yep, that action thriller movie. I saw the preview. It looks very, very exciting. It's actually an Australian movie. It was filmed in Australia. And it's from the producers Jason Blum, who produced Whiplash, and Brian Cavgan Jones, who produced Skyline, Welcome to the Punch, The Titan with Joel Edgerton, and Ben Grant as executive producer. who was involved in Clever Man and The Sapphires and Felony. Felony, that Aussie flick with Joel Edgerton, and it also starred Tom Hardy, I think. No, not Tom Hardy, I'm getting mixed up. Jai Courtney, Joel Edgerton, Tom Wilkinson, that was. That was an Australian crime thriller about the police. It's actually quite an interesting movie. You should check it out. And now I should probably talk about some Indian movies coming out. So on Friday, you've got the Indian comedy Veeri Ki Wedding. Now this is expected to be, Veeri Di Wedding. Now it's in theatres tomorrow. It's not in theatres today because all the Indian films actually come out on Friday. Now it's from the same director who made Khubsurat. Now Khubsurat is that romantic comedy with Sonam Kapoor and that massive song you had. It was about party, something about the party. It was I can't really remember it now. Oh, Abatapati Shurahi Hai. Yeah, that's the one. That's what most people know that movie from. Not really the movie, but the song, because the song was a massive hit in 2014. So it's expected to be big with this female director, Shankar Ghosh, who's back for Veeri Di Wedding, which actually has quite a great cast. It's from the writers Nidhi Mehra and Mehul Suri write the film, do the screenplay. Nidhi Mehra is her first film writing, and Mehul Suri is her second time writing, third time writing. She wrote the TV show Gully Gully Sim Sim and Teen Thai Bai. Now Teen Thai Bai is actually a comedy starring Om Puri. Now he actually did pass away not too long ago. I think it was last year, or maybe, yes, it was in 2017 on the 6th of January. And he died of a heart attack, which is very sad because I really liked him in the 100-Foot Journey, and he's been in a number of things. He was a very successful actor, and it was very sad to see him pass quite a number, over a year ago, like a year and something ago. Now this film, it's quite got a number of people. You've got Kareena Kapoor, who you know from Jab We Met, Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham, Om Kara and Three Idiots. You've also got Sonam Kapoor, who's known for Neerja. That's one of her best films. I tell you, it's very, very good. Aisha, she was in Aisha. She's going to be in Sanju, and she's been in Padman. She was in Dolly Ka Dolly, Beva Fukian, Players, Thank You. And Swara Bhaskar is back. We saw her in Prem Ratan Dhanapayo, I think, in 2015. And she was also in Tanu Weds Manu Returns. She's a big type of, well, not big actress. She's quite a small actress. And it's produced by Anil Kapoor. Now, it's actually, another film is actually coming out. This is a Punjabi film, which is out on Friday, which is tomorrow as well. You've got Curry on Jatta 2. Now that's from the director Smeep Kung. Now Smeep Kung is the same director who directed Curry on Jatta, VCAL List. And the writers on board, you've got Naresh Kuthria doing the dialogue. They were involved in Vek Bharatan Chalian, Lucky the Unlucky Story, and Shreya Srivastata, who wrote VCAL List, and Vaibhav Suman, who actually wrote Pyar Ka Panchnama. Now the cast is pretty big too. You've got Sonam Bajwa, Gippy Grewal, and Gurpreet Googie. That will be out all over Melbourne tomorrow. It's expected to actually have a number of cinemas who are showing it, which is great. And actually to mention, Veeri Di Wedding actually has a premiere today in Sunshine at 8:15. Now that's the first time you'll see it because it actually comes out tomorrow, which will be great to see it. So basically, I've done a full show here today. I think it's time to close off 2Sweet movie reviews. I'll see you next week with hopefully, I'll give you a Gringo review and I'll see if it's as good as Red Sparrow. And not just that, I may be giving you a review for Viri the Wedding, Carry-On Jutta 2, or a review for Cargo, because I forgot to mention it today because I had a lot of stuff to mention. But I think it's time to close the program. So, keep going to the theatres, keep supporting local theatres here, and that's it. I'm off. Time to close 2Sweet movie reviews. I will see you next week, and stay tuned. You can keep listening to my previous podcasts at Sandy VCAL. So you search up Sandy VCAL on YouTube, and you can watch any of them there. You also subscribe to our channel. It will be you should really subscribe to Sandy VCAL on YouTube. That would be much appreciated. And if you really like it, just like the video and put in your like videos, and it'll be great. Alright, I'm off. See you next week on 2Sweet movie reviews.